about. It's not that deep, but just something that came to me this morning. And as you guys go back to your unis, I would like you to like take it back there, take the mentality, and I also. The reason I'm recording it because I think that it will be beneficial for other people that go to university and that are Christians and are back in London but having to go back. And I just pray that you guys take it there. It might offend you because it might be some things that you do, it might be in your mind. But I took from a place of experience because I've been there. Yeah, and I took from a place of like just understanding from what the Lord is teaching me and what I see. Because obviously I teach from year 7 all the way up to year 13. So I see the step right before uni and I see everything. Like the reason what keeps me up to date with everything is that my students teach me and show me everything. If it's the latest songs, the latest slang, I know everything. I'm up to date. Do you know what I mean? And because like I'm a genius secretly. But there's two things. This first thing especially can happen to anybody. It happens a lot with the boys, more. Happens with girls also. And it's this mentality of nothing. Now, what I mean by that is it comes at uni a lot of the time, but it normally happens, it can happen in anybody's life. You get some 50-year-olds that have this mentality, 20-year-olds, 30, whatever, but it happens at uni a lot. And it's because when you get to, what happens is, for a lot of people, when you get to uni, what happens is that just the surroundings, the environment is just so toxic here, and it's so strong that people struggle and they fight against what they actually believe in. I'm not only talking about faith and religion here, I'm not talking about just in general, just morals, ethics. People struggle with that. And I bet you, if you ask many people in your university why they do certain things, why they say certain things, why they wear certain things, why they do that, I don't know, bangs, isn't it? Bangs. People don't know why they do things. And like, sometimes I ask people, like 20-year-olds, and I ask them, okay, cool, you've done that, whatever you've done, why'd you do it? They can't tell you. That's a big issue. I mean, God said, He said that, look, I prefer you to be hot or be cold. Lukewarm, I'll spit out. So actually, if you don't know why you do certain things, you're lukewarm. Do you know what I mean? And you get that, it's that mentality at uni. Like me, the reason why I did certain things at university, because everybody else was doing it. It dropped, it banged. Do you know what I mean? Everybody else was doing it. You need to get out of that mindset. It doesn't matter how deep. Do you know what I mean?
He's sending it to other churches, so like, just keep talking.
Why had them? Do you know what I mean? So we need to get ourselves out of that mentality of just nothing. Get yourself out of that mentality of I'm just doing this because everyone else does it. Yeah. And you ask certain people, before you left home, was you doing those things? Hear what I'm saying? Before you left home, if anybody ever asked you to twerk, you wouldn't do it. But it started banging and you started finding that your legs were flexible. When did you find that out? You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't ever think you could do that before. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that before. There's certain things.
He was in the room, he saw a couple girls doing
It's like you wouldn't. You guys are bad. They're bad. I bet they secretly twerk, boy.
No, you gotta catch me.
Okay, hear what I'm saying. You get people that you would if it's funny, 6 months before, if I said to you, dance like this, you would never do that. All of a sudden it banged at uni. And all of a sudden that, do you know what I mean, you started doing it. Like, wow, what happened to you though? Do you know what I mean? Another thing that worries me, I'm trying to be quick, another thing that worries me about young Christians that are at uni, it's different for me because I won't lie to you, before I left uni I wasn't a Christian. I was in church, I was doing all the things that you would do, but I wasn't a believer. I didn't give my life to Christ. Whereas a lot of people now, especially in the CNS or whatever, or people that I know redeem whatever, they've given their life to Christ before they even went to uni. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you've been through big stuff. You've been through big things before you went to uni and you've seen the power of God. Like one thing that gets to me is this mentality. People say this a lot and it infuriates me, is I don't like people preaching at me. I want to tell you why it annoys me. I understand where it comes from. Nobody likes to stand there and let someone just be talking at you for half an hour. But that mentality of I don't like people preaching at me is so weak. Let me tell you why it's weak. Because do you know the amount of things in your life, yeah, especially at uni, that preach at you, that you listen and you accept it? You will listen to a whole album of somebody telling you about drugs, sex, and different sorts of things, and it's cool. You didn't mind it then. Do you know what I mean? You didn't mind it then. What is preaching? What is a sermon? Preaching a sermon to somebody that's exhorting you with some word, and you can call it advice, you can call it a word of exhortation, whatever it might be. It's the same you get in music. You get a whole album talking about. Why does everybody cuss Drake? Because he has a whole album talking about sad songs and he's lovey-dovey. Because you get a whole album of it. It's a preaching. So why is it okay that you can listen to a whole album of someone talking about all these different sorts of things, but as soon as we get someone talking to you for 20 minutes about church, it's like, nah, man, don't preach at me. It's a weak mentality. It sounds so cool, and it sounds cool because other people say, oh, I don't like people preaching at me. Man, you better listen to somebody preaching at you, because that might not be the only thing you might get. Listen, this is the saddest thing. We all listen. You know the Shmurda dance. Yeah? If I was at uni, I would be the best at that dance. Why? Because the song bangs. But guess what? Why don't I play the song? Because it is doing and saying things that is just so yeah, cool. That is just so against God.
Where is he now?
Hear what I'm saying now? You can't be telling me when the beat dropped at that part of the song and everybody was screaming that Mitch caught a body about a week ago. And then the next day, you tweet about some man that got shot in America saying that no, that's out of order. But Mitch caught a body a week ago and you were cool with it. You danced, you broke, you waited for a bit. The whole club moved.
Yeah.
Exactly. You did that, but you can't. That doesn't work. You got gassed by the preaching from Shmurda. You're contradicting yourself.
So sorry.
So it's you've got when you get to university, and you get amongst the hype, you've got to just ask yourself some questions. There's sometimes someone's going to say something to you, you're going to say that's not true. That's not true. It's just not true. It's just not real. You can't be screaming, Mitch caught a body like a week ago and say you don't like that your friend got murdered. You don't like about another 18-year-old got murdered. As bad as it is, you can't. You're being hypocritical. And it's the same with other things that we're doing. You know, you can't be screaming. That's another song. I can't think of another song off the top of my head. You can't be singing about. Dagger, dagger, dagger.
Yeah, done
you can't be singing about all different sorts of things, and then the man says, man, fuck someone dagger next to me. Or I'm not the type of girl that you dagger. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can't be singing that. You can't be singing that. Because what you did, you got gassed. People got gassed off a sermon they heard in a song, but they don't want to hear a sermon that comes from church. What it is that the devil's actually deceiving a lot of people that are at uni, especially Christians that are at uni. So the mentality is you need to get to university and question everything you say or do. I know it's not easy because everybody's doing something. As soon as you get to uni, it's its own world. It's a different world. I appreciate that, but we need to question what is going on at uni. Is that cool? Yeah? You get that? Any question? Question?
Yeah, I have loads of them.
You got loads of questions?
Yeah, but I don't want you to record it.
Oh boy. Hey, peace out, innit?
Peace out. Bye.
What you say?
Oh, you're late.
I was calling you.